Hey there, this is Teacher Podcast episode 250 in the countryside, vocabulary booster. Are you tired of lacking confidence when speaking English? Does it block you from achieving your true goals? This podcast is the place for you. This is Teacher Podcast. My name is Ola Mierniczak and I empower English learners to become confident speakers. The key to fluency is in your pocket. You'll boost your vocabulary, brush up your grammar and improve your pronunciation. Enjoy your journey to fluency. Hello and welcome. Thank you for choosing this episode. Today I want you to close your eyes, use your imagination. I don't need imagination, in fact, these pictures I have in my memory. All I need to do is go back there to my childhood, summertime, my granny's village, neighbors' kids, nature, farm animals, garden, flowers, cooking, fruit picking, storms, bike trips, making a bonfire. Oh my, these are such precious memories. I'm gonna sound like an old lady, but today kids don't spend their summer holidays this way, in nature, with granny, freedom, play. Well, times have changed, everything's different, but I'm so glad I have these memories. I remember the smell, sound, taste of those times. It's really emotional. It's like that place that doesn't exist anymore, but it formed you and created all these beautiful imagery. What if I tell you you can use images to learn a language? Yes, of course you can. It doesn't matter if you have memories like me. The thing is, you need to create a visual image. Visualization is a powerful tool you can use to boost your memory. Let's go on an exciting journey through the countryside. This lesson will help you learn and remember vocabulary connected with the countryside in a fun and engaging way. But why learn vocabulary through a story like this? Let me explain. I have few reasons. Number one, contextual learning. When you hear new words in context, it's easier to understand and remember the meanings. By imagining a walk through the countryside, you can see how these words fit naturally into real-life situations. 2. Visualization. Creating a mental image of the countryside as you learn new words helps reinforce your memory. Visualizing makes the vocabulary more vivid and more memorable. 3. Engagement. Listening to a story is more engaging than memorizing lists of words. It keeps you interested and motivated to learn more. 4. Practical use. Understanding how to use these words in sentences helps you apply them in your own speaking and writing. This practice will improve your overall communication skills. 5. Enjoyment. Learning through stories can be enjoyable and relaxing. It takes the pressure off studying and makes learning a pleasurable experience. Fun and pleasure. Positive emotions mean you will better remember the words. That has been proven by a number of studies. Positive attitude, positive emotional response makes you memorize words better. I have such vivid memories from those summer holidays spent at my granny's farm because it was filled with joy, fun, laughter, adventure, puppies, kittens, bunnies, baby cows. Oh, see? Feelings, emotions, these boost your memory. We remember things which were important, which were emotionally rich. Before we begin the main part of this episode, I have a question. Have you signed up for my free video training on how to stop thinking in Polish while speaking English? Do it now. Go to teacherola.com/lekcja. So, let's dive into our countryside adventure and discover the beauty and tranquility of rural life while expanding our vocabulary. As you listen, try to picture each scene and remember how the words are used. Ready? Let's begin. Imagine spending a holiday in the beautiful countryside where the air is fresh and nature surrounds you. Let's take a walk and explore this picturesque landscape, introducing some new vocabulary along the way. We start our journey on a footpath that winds through the countryside. This narrow path is well trodden and guides us through a variety of terrains. As we walk, we notice a small wooden signpost indicating directions to nearby villages and landmarks. Our path takes us through a lush field filled with tall grass and vibrant wildflowers. The colorful blossoms sway gently in the breeze, and the scent of fresh grass fills the air. To our left, we see a thick hedge, a natural fence made up of dense shrubs and small trees. It separates the field from a narrow lane that runs alongside it. We come across a quaint footbridge crossing a bubbling brook. The wooden planks creak softly under our feet as we cross, and we pause to look at the clear water below. Tiny fish dart around, and we spot a few water-loving insects. Continuing on, we find ourselves at a set of steps leading up a small hill. Each step is made of sturdy stone, worn smooth by countless travelers. At the top of the hill, we encounter a fence. It borders a meadow where cows graze lazily. The gate in the fence swings open easily, and we pass through, careful to close it behind us. In this meadow, a traditional dry stone wall winds its way across the landscape, built without mortar and standing firm through the ages. We follow the footpath to a series of stepping stones across a shallow stream. With careful balance, we hop from one stone to stone, reaching the other side with dry feet. As we walk, our boots occasionally squish in the mud, evidence of a recent rain shower. The countryside is alive with creatures. A colorful butterfly flutters past, landing briefly on a delicate flower. We hear the cheerful chirping of a bird perched high in a tree, and the persistent buzz of a bee moving from bloom to bloom. On the ground, a line of industrious ants marches purposefully, while a shiny black beetle scurries across a path. We find a shady spot under a large tree and sit for a rest. Nearby, a bush rustles and a grasshopper leaps away, blending perfectly with the green foliage. On the trunk of the tree, we spot a fascinating fungus. As we enjoy our break, we appreciate the tranquility and beauty of the countryside. After our restful break under the tree, we continue our walk. As we stroll, we admire the different parts of the plant around us. We notice a beautiful flower with delicate petals of various colors. Its stalk is slender yet strong, supporting the blossom. Nearby, we see a plant with broad leaves swaying in the breeze, and its stem rising proudly from the ground. We even spot a bush with small ripe berries that look tempting to eat. Moving further, we come across an old oak tree. The rough bark of its trunk tells us a story of many years standing tall. The roots spread out into the earth, anchoring the tree firmly. As we look up, we see the tree's branches stretching out, covered in budding leaves and some early blossoms. Tiny buds are ready to open into new leaves. We continue our walk, paying attention to the earth beneath our feet. The ground is firm, but we can feel the richness of the soil that nourishes all the plants around. Occasionally, we stumble upon larger rocks and smaller stones and pebbles that crunch underfoot. By the stream, there is a patch of fine sand, smooth and warm under the sun. The path leads us up a steep hill, and as we reach the top, we look down into a deep valley below. The landscape is breathtaking, with a dense forest on one side, its trees packed closely together. The valley floor is covered in long grass, some areas almost overgrown with weeds. The natural beauty is overwhelming. As we descend into the valley, we come across various groups of animals. A herd of cows grazes peacefully in a meadow, while nearby another group of cattle rests in the shade. In the distance, we see a graceful herd of deer moving quietly among the trees. On a hill, a flock of sheep roams, their woolly bodies dotting the landscape, and a flock of birds takes flight above us, filling the sky with their calls. Passing through fields, we notice cereal crops growing abundantly. Rows of corn stand tall alongside fields of barley, oats, rye, and wheat. In British English, corn often refers to these various cereal crops, while in other places it specifically means maize. Here, maize is being grown. Farmers will later harvest it and sell it as corn. We observe farmers busy at their work. They grow crops and sow seeds in neat rows. In one field, they are busy planting potatoes, while in another they're preparing to harvest corn. In a nearby orchard, workers are picking apples from the trees. Through this extended journey, we've encountered a wide range of vocabulary. By visualizing these scenes and understanding how the words fit into them, you can better grasp and remember this rich vocabulary. Time to practice. Listen to these sentences and say them out loud. We start our journey on a footpath. We start our journey on a footpath. The footpath winds through the countryside. The footpath winds through the countryside. To our left, we see a thick hedge. To our left, we see a thick hedge. We come across a quaint footbridge crossing a bubbling brook. We come across a quaint footbridge crossing a bubbling brook. We find a shady spot under a large tree. We find a shady spot under a large tree. Tiny buds are ready to open into new leaves. Tiny buds are ready to open into new leaves. The path leads us up a steep hill. The path leads us up a steep hill. A herd of cows grazes peacefully in a meadow. A herd of cows grazes peacefully in a meadow. They grow crops and sow seeds in neat rows. They grow crops and sow seeds in neat rows. In a nearby orchard, workers are picking apples from the trees. In a nearby orchard, workers are picking apples from the trees. That's it. Good work. Thank you for staying with me till now. Please don't forget about the worksheet. Subscribe to my free newsletter. Never miss an episode, never miss a worksheet. Plus, if you subscribe now, you'll get access to a video lesson, how to stop translating in your head. How to do it, how to subscribe. Just go to teacherola.com/lekcja. Leave your email address and that's it. teacherola.com/lekcja. I hope you learned something new. I hope you refreshed some vocabulary. I hope you had a chance to activate some vocabulary you had known passively. If you did, please say thank you. But how? Well, you have a few options to thank me. You can give me 5 stars on Spotify, write a review on iTunes, comment on YouTube, leave thumbs up, and whatever you choose to do. Thank you so much. I love you, I believe in you, and I know you can be fluent in English if you really want it. I'll be back next week. Stay fearless, say it out loud, and take care. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you are listening to Teacher Ola Podcast. Bye for now.